private paramilitary force, much like Hitler's SS. This is all laid out in Project 2025. We've been trying to warn you for years. And it's like, it's supposed to be a 100,000 strong private military force designed to enforce Trump's policies, his domestic policies. And it seems like what they're going to be doing is using ICE, right? So ICE already has 10,000 agents. Part of this big, beautiful bill, or the big, horrendous bill that Trump signed, it adds another 10,000 agents to the force. So that's where we're getting closer and closer to that 100,000 mark. Now, here's the thing. On top of it, the bill also includes a $30,000 bonus for these new ICE agents who are already making between $30,000 and $40,000 a year, right? So that's something like between $60,000 and $80,000 a year for these ICE agents. Now, hear me out. It's not like federal agents in other branches like the FBI and the DEA and the ATF. It's not like they're all jumping out of their seats to abandon their current federal position and join ICE. No. The people who are signing up to become these new 10,000 ICE agents, these are the Proud Boys. They are the Patriot Front. They are the Ku Klux Klan. And we already know this because we've been watching videos of these ICE agents across the nation who are like, half of them are morbidly obese. They're all wearing different uniforms. They got blue jeans on. They don't know how to handle their weapons. They're cursing. They're punching people. These are not trained officers. You know what I'm saying? These are just volunteer Nazis. And it's exactly what Hitler did with the SS. And it's not coincidental that this was all laid out in Project 2025, and now we're starting to go through with it. But we're gonna watch Trump talk about this, because here's the thing. You know the old poem, first they came for the socialists, and I did not care, for I am not a socialist. Then they came for the communists, and I did not care, for I'm not a communist. Then the Jews, then the disabled, and I did not care. And then by the time they came for me, there was no one left, right? Trump is already saying that he wants to deport U.S. citizens born on U.S. soil. He's calling them anchor babies, like saying that undocumented immigrants come to the United States and then they have a child as a way to become citizens. And he's saying that that child should not be a citizen, which is a direct violation of the Constitution. We have birthright citizenship for a reason. Anyway, we're going to dive into this. We're going to watch. Real quick, if you're new here, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. I'm a douchebag. I'm from New York. I majored in history. I minored in political science. There's nothing I hate more than fascism. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you dead-ass nothing, and it helps me a lot. If you do want to help the channel financially, a couple of ways that you could do it, because this is real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a government. So if you do want to help me out, you can become a member here on YouTube for $5. I'll give you access to the Valenti Bros show, which a new episode is coming out tonight. You can also become a Patreon patron for $5. You could buy merch down below. You could use the thanks button to tip. And thank you for the $2 tip. Like and subscribe. And then you could also use the 40% off discount code for Ground News, which is what I use to parse through all the bullshit. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Thank you for 73,000 subs. We're on the road to 100K. I really love you all. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Let's listen to Donald Trump say that he's floating the possibility of deporting U.S. citizens. Mind you, we're also going to cover how the big, beautiful bill includes $150 billion for ICE, which makes ICE not only the most funded police force in the United States, more money than the Marines get, mind you, but it also makes ICE the 14th most funded army on planet Earth.
Success of this facility here, how many more facilities like this do you feel that the country needs in order to enact your agenda of mass deportations?
Well, I think we'd like to see them in many states, really, many states. This one, I know Ron's doing a second one, at least a second one. And
oh, first we got Dachau, now we've got Auschwitz.
Probably a couple of more. And, at some point they might morph into a system where you're going to keep it for a long time. It's not that far away from jails that take years to build, and money is spent and wasted. And, like the railway that they have in California that costs like 40 times more than it was supposed to cost. The same things happens with prisons. You look at this in a short period of time, Ron, James, and some of the people that really worked on it along with our people, they did this in less than a week. And you look at it, it's incredible. The incredible thing is picking the site, because the site was one of the most natural sites. It might be as good as the real Alcatraz site. It could be. Well,
no, when he's saying it might be as good as the real Alcatraz, he means as deadly. You know, trying to escape Alcatraz is so fucking deadly, they made a movie about it, okay? And it's the same goddamn thing with this Alligator Auschwitz, which I don't even like calling it Alligator Auschwitz. I think we should just call it the Florida concentration camp. Because that's what it is. It's the concentration camp in Florida. That's what it is.
That's a spooky one too, isn't it? Huh? That's a tough sight. But, so I think it could last as long as they want to have it. I mean, you may morph this into, you know, your prison system, frankly, which I know you always need, unfortunately. I'd like to say, you know, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from...
This is the exact same thing he said in the Oval Office a couple of months back when they asked him about deporting U.S. citizens. That's literally GTA shit. I'm not kidding. Like, whacking an old woman over the head with a baseball bat is GTA shit. That's what I used to do when I was playing GTA San Andreas. His entire understanding of, like, inner cities is GTA.
Behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not...
People that knife you. Bro, that is Call of Duty terminology. Brother, he knifed me. It's called getting stabbed.
They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country.
See, you just said they're not new to our country. They're old to our country, and many of them were born here. He is talking about U.S. citizens because every single person who was born on U.S. soil, even if it's a fucking military base in Bahrain, everybody born on U.S. soil is a U.S. citizen. That is in the fucking Constitution. Is called birthright citizenship.
I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, you know, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents. They were done very much in purpose. People being pushed into a subway just before it arrives, going 40 miles an hour. And they're 10 feet away from where the thing is, to get pushed right into the face of the subway train, get whacked and killed. And these are sick people. I'd like to get them out of here, too.
Listen, so MAGA will deny it over and over again. They will say that Trump is not trying to get rid of U.S. citizens until... This is what MAGA does. MAGA will pretend like they don't support this. They'll say, no, he's not actually going to do it. He's trolling, and we don't want him to do it. They're lying. They know he's going to do it, and they want him to do it. And this is what they do. And then as soon as he starts doing it, they go, hey, we were fucking kidding. We totally want to start supporting U.S. citizens. You stupid fuck. That's how MAGA operates, okay? MAGA is a death cult. It's not political. It's not a political party. They have no beliefs. They don't. Their beliefs are whatever the Fuhrer says we do. That is the furthest extent of the MAGA brain, okay? Now, what I want to show you here is this. The House sends mega bill to Trump's desk with $150 billion in military spending, okay? And specifically for that, it's $50 billion for ICE off the rippity-bo-bippity. Get this off my face. Get this out of my face. Okay, look at this. Trump's ICE agents are arresting U.S. citizens. GOP budget would hire 10,000 more. Polls show the so-called big, beautiful budget bill championed by President Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress is becoming deeply unpopular. Let's get down here. Trump's mass deportation campaign has received far less attention from Democrats and critics, including billions of dollars to deploy 10,000 additional immigrant and custom enforcement agents nationwide. The GOP budget bill's $75 billion in supplemental funding for ICE is now under increasing scrutiny. $75 billion for ICE. That is insane. Meanwhile, they're cutting $800 billion in your Medicaid and your Medicare. They literally want... Dude, they might as well just call the bill, we're going to create a concentration camp and we're going to kill poor people. And MAGA would go, fuck yeah! It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Not to mention the point that these fucking people are masked. They're masked. They're hiding their identities. And we already have stories of people pretending to be ICE agents fucking kidnapping people. So we get 10,000 extra border agents, or extra ICE agents. All of them are getting a fucking $30,000 pay raise. Look at this. CBP increases recruitment incentive. U.S. Customs Borders increasing its recruitment incentives to as much as $30,000 for newly appointed Border Patrol agents. And this is all coming as the fucking economy is fucked and we're in an affordability crisis. So this is just a way to get stupid, uneducated, MAGA voting racists to join in ICE for a $30,000 fucking pay raise. Unbelievable. I have to burp really badly. There it goes. Now, I wanted to show you the similarities between the SA, the SS, and this. So, this is, excuse me, the Storm Division, or the Stormtroopers. It was an original paramilitary organization under Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party, okay? It played a significant role in Hitler's rise to power. Its primary purposes were providing protection for Nazi rallies and assemblies, disrupting the meetings of opposing parties, fighting against the paramilitary units of the opposing parties, yada, yada, yada. They were called the Brownshirts, but what's more important is this, the branch called the SS. You've definitely heard of the SS a million times, the Schutzstaffel, right? Paramilitary organization under Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Nazi Germany, and later throughout German-occupied Europe. It began with a small guard unit known as the Saalschutz, made up of party volunteers to provide security for party meetings in Munich. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before ICE is deployed to defend these fucking Trump rallies. Heinrich Himmler joined the unit. That's our main cult leader of the Nazi Party. Anyway, the SS was the foremost agency of security, mass surveillance, and state terrorism within Germany, which is exactly what ICE is doing. State terrorism. Terrorism conducted by a state against its own citizens or another state's citizens. It is exactly what ICE is doing. Now, the SS was also broken into two different groups. There was the Allgemeine SS. These were the guys more like ICE, the police officers who were actually in Germany, versus the Waffen SS, which is sort of like the frontline, most fucked up individuals that you could possibly get who were actually fighting in the war. These were combat units. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, the SS was required in order to, solidify Nazi ideology within Germany, and that is exactly what ICE is going to be used to do. It's a private paramilitary organization that exists outside of the bounds of our government, and they're going to be taking orders strictly from the Fuhrer, Donald Trump. Listen, if you're watching this live, you stay. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, I got some shit to do. I will be taking a little 6-day vacation, but I've got some scheduled videos that are going to be going up over the week while I'm gone. So don't worry, you ain't going to miss me for too long. Again, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.